And then my wife got off, left the table, went back in the back room and cried. And he said, well, that's it then. You guys left the deal, you left the table, that's it. We're done talking.
Hi, we're Jeff and Roxanne Schuld. We live just about a mile south of Marshfield. We bought our property in the early 80s, and we were aware that there was a pipeline here when we purchased the property, and we built in 1988. Hadn't had any issues the first time the pipeline came through, somewhere in the 90s when they came through. With the big expansion that we really ran into some issues with putting our property back to the way it was in the past. And we had tons of black dirt hauled in so that we had a beautiful lawn. They put it back together at like a farmer's field. It was horrible. When they wanted to come back again and they had to do some repairs, when he started talking to us, and I get emotional even thinking about it, I could not sit there at the table and listen to what they were telling us. And I got up and walked away.
And they offered us $1,000 to use our driveway down here, and he had to argue on top of it and say it was on their property. They were just going to give us the money to use it, and I said, no, we're not going to allow it to happen. And I said, you guys are just going to, them big equipment's going to crush that plastic culvert in there. And he said, well, then there won't be anything offered then, he said. And then my wife got off, left the table, and went back in the back room and cried. And he said, well, that's it then. You guys left the deal, you left the table, that's it. We're done talking. And he up and left.
Enbridge came back the second time and did the big expansion, and they didn't put our lawn back the way that it was supposed to be, and they didn't compensate us for any of the repairs that we asked for. It was bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. You guys want to come outside, I can show you. There's Trans-Canadian here that crosses down there. And when they installed this pipeline, they dug a tremendous hole to get underneath that pipeline. And then when they filled it back in, that all settled down there. And that's the way it still is down there, settled. And it's holding water all the time. The driveway I was talking about over there, when we were talking on the table about that driveway that they wanted to use it, they said it was on their property. They can use it regardless. They don't need our permission. But I told them it wasn't. So they had it surveyed then and found out that that was on my property there. When they put the fill back on the pipeline, when they were completed installing the pipeline, they took the black dirt and covered the pipe with the black dirt. And they had no black dirt then to fill this over top of all this clay that they had here, so they scraped it. We had a beautiful slope from the house down through here, and they scraped all the black dirt there to bring down here to try to make it look better. They gave us a check for, was it $900 to try to patch that hole up, but then when the initial settlement was $4,800, they told us that $900 is it now. We settled for the whole works. That was it.
He signed for the $900 that he received it. And then later they told us for some of the trees they had taken down.
Yes, the trees all out of there.
We approached them about them still owing us for those trees that they had taken down, and they said, you signed off when you signed for that $900 check. I'm a little worried about the eminent domain, aren't you, hon?
Oh, yeah.
With everything.
Yeah. I mean, they treated us like they did this last time. It's going to be worse yet when they come through that eminent domain.
There's the possibility that we could lose our land, we could lose our house, that we put everything into our whole life, and it could all be gone just because they say so. A company that isn't even an American company, that it's not right.